Being Grammy nominated is an amazing honor. But things don't change immediately. You have to have work ethic. Let me see if I can turn on this light. Hello? Light? Okay. Hello, light. You have to have work ethic. You have to reach out. And you have to let people know that you want to work. Because I think what happens is people are like, oh, you're Grammy nominated, I can't afford you now. You're not supposed to be able to. But the truth of the matter is that very rarely do people prioritize poets in their large budget lineups or festivals. Where they immediately think of a band, they immediately think of comedians, they immediately think of singers, hip-hop artists. They're not like, oh, man, let's give this Grammy-nominated poet 10 grand, a 5-star hotel. I mean, sometimes it happens, yes. But still in the poetry community, we talk about it amongst each other like it's a unicorn. Like, oh, you gotta go to such and such because they be such and such. It's frustrating, because especially when you've focused your life on a craft and mastered it and gave back and taught people and, sprinkled your seed of information and excellence and intelligence to your community. It gets hard. It gets hard when the last poet's house burns down and they got to do a GoFundMe. It gets hard when poets pass away and we got to do a GoFundMe. It gets hard when, we have all these accolades within our community that aren't readily recognized, so people don't respect them. They're like, oh, it's great, you got slam artists that do what is slam? And slam has movies, and hip-hop has movies, singers have movies, but nobody's come to do a behind the music on a spoken word artist yet. When they were doing Cribs, nobody went to George Mee's house or Jessica Care Moore's house or Mum's house or Saul Williams' house. They didn't go. They went to all hip-hop artists, singers. We are part of the pop culture that y'all keep dismissing. We're part of the pop culture. We're not these has-been backpack incent stereotypes, whatever's in your head. We're people and mothers and teachers and educators and event coordinators and people doing concerts. So I think my event is ending. It's okay, right? Doesn't see me. So I started a hashtag called Hire a Poet. And hire a poet with a keynote budget in mind. Hire a poet with a band in mind. Like you can curate whatever you want to curate for your corporate events, for universities, for your festivals. People come to my events because I market it as a concert, and it is. It's a poetry and hip-hop concert with live music. Sometimes I have a comedian. When I run across comedians that I love and that we are organic friends. But it's not a comedy show. I have learned to be funny. And I went to comedy school to hone that craft as well. And then I took those basic skills and can turn that into a 60-minute stand-up. I could do a special that maybe would get picked up on Tubi. I don't know, right? Same with Amanda Seales. She honed her comedy. She does stand-up, and she started as a spoken word artist and became an actress, and there is no path for a spoken word artist to go. So we create our own path, but we're still overlooked. In 2024, going into 2025, we're still overlooked. Overlooked as far as mainstream publication. Saul Williams, Jessica Care Moore, Georgia Me could have been on the cover of Rolling Stone. I'm saying Rolling Stone, People magazine. I would love to be on the cover of Bazaar. Y'all can put makeup on me and dress me. I would love to that. I love that magazine. I would love to be on the cover of. There are poets who have made millions of dollars. Why weren't they on the cover of Forbes? It's like, what is it that when we say poet, that y'all are like, what is that? Do you think you're going to be bored? Have you been to a poetry show lately? Have you been to my shows? J. Rose? Masterpiece? Have you been to the Poetry Lounge in LA? Have you been to Ingrid B shows in Miami? Did you go to the New Eurekan Poets Cafe in New York? Have you been to have y'all been to these places that have been around for decades? Poetry versus hip hop is going on 10 years old. We started Versus, and then Versus came along. I can't own Versus, unfortunately. You could do peanut butter versus jelly. We tried to own the Versus. Trademark was like, you can't own Versus, but you can own Poetry versus hip hop. So what is it that when somebody says, yo, and I'm not even talking about me, I'm talking about anybody. There are so many dynamic, amazing poets and spoken word artists in our culture. What is it about us that makes y'all go, nah? And I don't mean the rare occasions that it does happen. I don't mean the rare occasions where Sekou and Steve went to the White House, where Jay Ivey went to the White House, where Amanda Gorham got to do the inauguration. I'm not talking about the rare occasions. I'm talking about, why isn't it regular? Why isn't it? Like, why isn't it that when you're planning your corporate, pick a corporation, holiday Christmas party, you're like, all right, we need a band, we need a DJ. Why don't y'all say poet, spoken word artist? I'm not saying you just have a poet or a spoken word. Like, why don't you think it's going to be entertaining? Oh, you think we're going to make you think? Doesn't a song make you cry? Doesn't a song make you be like, fuck? Doesn't it? Don't comedians be like, damn, I do need to fix my life? Don't hip hop artists be like, make you think like, oh shit, I do need to help my community? So how are we different? Because we don't have music. Says who? Says who doesn't have music? I got music on all 10 of my albums. This sign is in there right now with a band. I play with a band. Jessica does fucking rock. Jessica created Black Women Rock. A whole spoken word artist created a whole Black Women Rock brand. Oh, I think it's letting out. Gotta go. But just ask yourself that. Hire a poet. Hashtag.